Candy floss. Cleaning candy floss machines should be completed every single morning. The first thing to remember is to turn the power off to the machine to prevent the risk of damage or injury when cleaning electrical equipment with water. The candy floss machines are opened with the silver key. The keys for the back door of the candy floss machine will be in the bottom of the machine. Open the back door using the black key. Unplug the self-cleaning arm. Slide the self-cleaning arm out, ready to clean. Once inside the machine, your first job will be to remove the 3 black-headed screws. One is used to hold the metal rod in place. 2 more are used to hold the lid on the basin. Unscrew these and put them in a safe place, as you will need these later. These screws are easy to lose when misplaced, so make sure to put them in a memorable place. Lift the metal rod in the center of the machine to free the basin and the lid, ready for removal. The rod can be quite difficult to move, but with a bit of force and twisting the rod while you lift it will make the task easier. The basin and its lid can now be removed carefully over the red coil in the center. Make sure you lock all the doors on the machine before leaving it unattended. Remember to use the black key for the door on the back of the candy floss machine when locking the front up, and make sure you put the black key back where you found it. The lock should click back into place. Now that the basin, lid and self-cleaning arm have been removed, they need to be cleaned. The only source of hot and cold water in Club Arcade is in the back of the zoo bar area. Take these items into the kitchen. After putting on a pair of disposable gloves, use a combination of the green cloths and hot water to remove all of the sugar from the inside and outside of the lid. The sugar easily dissolves in water, so there is no need to use any harsher materials on the metal than the green cloths. Set the cleaned lids on the draining board for later. Repeat the same process you used on the lid and do the same with the basin. For the self-cleaning arm, you shouldn't use any running water, only a wet green cloth, and stay away from exposed wiring. To dry these components properly, use a roll of blue paper towels. Be sure to wipe in every nook and cranny, both inside and outside of all the components, until they are all bone dry. From the bar's kitchen, get a bucket of hot water and D2. You will need this to clean the inside of the candy floss machines. You will also need a green and white striped cloth and a roll of blue paper towels. Before addressing the inside of the machine, make sure the outside is free of scuff marks. Next, get the hoover from the back room and use the brush nozzle to scrape away the heavier residue from the fans on the back door of the candy floss machine. You can hoover this residue away. Then, to get the fans even cleaner, use a green cloth and hot D2 water from your bucket to wipe them down. After this, at the bottom of the machine, address the coil and the surrounding base plate. The coil in the middle spins so you can access all areas of it. Make sure the outside of the coil is cleaned well. The fixture the coil is attached to, as well as the base plate, should also be cleaned with hot water and then dried. The bottom of the candy floss machines and the inside of the doors should also be cleaned thoroughly with a damp cloth. All the sugar that falls out of the basin ends up here, so it's a high priority area. Once this is done, take your bucket back to the bar kitchen. Empty it and rinse the inside of the D2 water. Fill the bucket back up with fresh hot water. Dispose of the dirty green cloths and get a few new ones. Use the new water and green cloths to clean the inside of the dispenser chute. Wipe down the metal rod and then use the D10 spray inside the dispenser chute. Leave this solution for a minute or so to work its magic, and then dry the affected area with the blue paper towels. Make sure that this is done well, as D10 cannot end up inside the candy floss. It is not safe for consumption. Repeat the cleaning and drying process with the basin this time, using the blue paper towels to take away any remaining D10 spray from the inside of the bowl that might potentially make its way into the candy floss. The basin has a couple of screws on the underside that sit into the indentations on the base plate. If the basin is not securely in place, the basin will move freely around the coil and possibly cause damage. Once the basin is in place, next is the lid. The lid sits on top of the 3 white brackets. Once in position, secure the lid in place using the black-headed screws. The rod should be moved down until it is in position less than an inch above the coil. The rod can also be secured in place by a black-headed screw. Next, wipe the self-cleaning arm of any residue D10 spray. You should be able to see yourself in the reflection, so if it's still streaky, keep at it. Once it's clean, slide it back onto the rails in the back of the cotton candy machine. The white knife at the end of the arm should point downwards into the basin. Then, plug the self-cleaning arm back into its power supply using the white grips. Remember to use the keys from the inside of the candy floss machine to lock up the lower back door. Check how much sugar is in the container in the upper back door. If the level is lower than half, get some more bags of sugar from the back room and fill the container to near the top. The process is the same of the white paper sticks in the top half of the machine. If you can see these are getting low, refill them with the stock that is kept in the back room until the supply reaches near the top. Once all of this is complete, return the back door keys to the inside of the machine. Plug the power cable back in and power the machine back up on the wall socket. Wait for the timer on the inside of the door to count down and the music to start. By pressing the free game button on the console on the bottom of the machine, you can test if the machine is working correctly. The candy floss machine can then be locked back up and moved back into position, ready to be used during the workday.